everybody, and welcome back here on Court B. Last game saw an Aspire draw with Villa Rockets. This time it's a game that is significant at the other end of the table. Bottom of the league, Hull and East Yorkshire take on 9th place Sevenoaks. Sevenoaks will be hoping for a big win towards their survival push for this season. Hull, if they can get a win, will be back in with a chance. Sevenoaks on 11 points, Hull on 4. This game, massively significant. Any chance for Sevenoaks to pick up a win, it is massive. They've obviously level on points with the two other teams around them, Nottinghamshire and Man United. And both of those teams are actually playing each other right now on Court A. Here's Sevenoaks attacking. All three. Needs to clear Cole Simpson. Here's Greg Baxter. Chance to pass to Bestwick. Bestwick looks to get it across. Miles Miller in there to make a challenge, and Adam McAvoy just wants Sevenoaks to stretch the pitch a little bit more. Cole Simpson. Two on one in favour of Sevenoaks. Jim Mason. Here's Greg Baxter. Miles Miller driving down the right now. Simpson. Miles Miller. Here's Cole Simpson now to take this free kick for Hull. Simpson, Jim Mason clears. Gill has a shot. That's really unlucky. A great start from Hull. Corner is going to be taken by Gill. Simpson has a shot, sorry. That was actually a really nice strike. Here's Greg Baxter. Harry Bestwick. Baxter clears. Bestwick again. Baxter across towards Miller. Baxter. Simpson clears. Sevenoaks are going to make a change here. Kyle Alexander coming on in the middle. Been a finely balanced first 5 minutes. Here's Jim Mason. Here's Alexander. Simpson looks to spinning clear. Cole Simpson. Here's Kai Gill. Miller. Alexander. Here's Miller now. Bestwick has a chance. Blocked by Lambert. It's going to be a kick in for Sevenoaks on the left-hand side. Alexander towards the back post. Nobody's there to receive it. So I'll have a kick in on the left-hand side, which Cole Simpson will take. Rothery in towards Simpson. Alexander. Mason. Miller. Alexander. Bestwick. Bestwick. Blocked again by Simpson. Sevenoaks just trying to move the ball quickly and create spaces in the wide areas from doing so. Bestwick now. James Mason back down the line towards Bestwick. Bestwick has options in the centre. Tried to find Miller at the back post. Was blocked, and now Lambert can potentially go forward. Here's Miles Miller, James Mason, Cole Simpson, Lambert, Mason, James Mason. Here's Lambert now. Mason again doing the tidying up for Sevenoaks at the back. Miller and Bestwick both started to converge on that. Here's Alexander. Another kick in for Sevenoaks. Miller. Alexander, Miles Miller. Here's Alexander. Westwick. It's going to be a free kick. Sevenoaks on the edge of the area, getting instructions from the two managers, Kyle Alexander. Kyle Alexander. Miller. Almost an effective dummy from Kyle Alexander, but well defended by Hull. Sevenoaks have settled since the opening exchanges where they were a bit nervy and gave away a few silly fouls. It's now looking like Sevenoaks are going to dominate this game possession-wise, but Hull so far have held very strong and firm against Sevenoaks' attacks. Kyle Alexander. Miller, oh, so unlucky not to get that cross just behind the back wheel of the whole chair. Here's Alexander and Miller just playing back and forth. An unnecessary error from Miles Miller. Simpson. James Mason, Bestwick. Miles Miller has time. Cole Simpson's now put a tackle in. Miller settles for the kick in. Cole Alexander blocked. Alexander. It's gone all the way to the back post towards Bestwick. And I believe the goal's been disallowed. It's a great finish from Bestwick, but unfortunately the referee deems that there was some contact there. Miller with space to move into. Out wide. Two on one against Sevenoaks. Very animated Adam McAvoy on that sideline, just really giving loads of instruction to the Sevenoaks players. Bestwick. Alexander Bestwick. Lambert. Here's Mason. Mason, Bestwick. Mason again. Well, this is a chance now for Hull potentially on the counter-attack. Well done by Kyle Alexander now. It's Miller, looks to thread it in that gap. Goal kick. 4 minutes left of this first half. Cole Simpson. Going to be a change for Hull. Off goes Kai Gill, who had a great chance earlier in that game, replaced by Brennan. Cole Simpson now to take this kick. Here's Lambert. All across. There's a big chance at the back post for Brennan. Unlucky not to be able to get that in. Sevenoaks maybe now will counter-attack. Here's Miller. James Mason putting some real pressure on. Now it's Lambert. Here's Mason. Bestwick. Oh, so unlucky from Harry Bestwick. He was close to getting the connection that he required. He did earlier in the game. Unfortunately, that goal was disallowed. It would have been a brilliant finish, but Sevenoaks unable to get the lead so far. Here's Simpson. Kyle Alexander. Here's Alexander. 90 seconds or so left of this first half. Still 0-0. That's a great ball towards the back post. So unlucky for Sevenoaks that they really, I mean, yeah, that's about as big as a chance gets. It was a brilliant ball for Alexander, a superb pass from Miles Miller, and Harry Bestwick had a shot, and it was just, it was well saved, but you wonder if he'd managed to get it a bit further in that corner. He definitely could have put it out of the reach of the goalkeeper. So here's Cole Simpson with 45 seconds left of this first half. Rothery. Simpson. Here's Alexander. Nine seconds left on the clock in the hall. Cole Simpson now going to take this kick in. Both sides will have been happy with elements of that first half. You know, Hull have definitely looked a threat from especially set-piece situations. Sevenoaks have controlled the majority of the possession, and they've had some big chances as well. And this may be another one. It's Miller. Oh, just shoots at the front post. Potentially should have looked to go across towards the back post there, and that's half-time. So 0-0 between Hull and Sevenoaks in this relegation battler at the bottom of the table as it stands. A point is not really ideal for either side. Both sides will be wanting to take 3 here. Huge second half ahead. Oh, shoot. Back underway here on Court B, still 0-0. And it's also still 0-0 over on Court A between Nottinghamshire and Manchester United PFC. Both last games ended 0-0 as well on these two courts between Teesside and Nomad Knights and Aspire and Villa Rockets, which, as the commentator on the other game, Ryan Sipple, has just pointed out, it's probably the longest we've had in the Premiership with 0-0 score, without a goal being scored for ages. Obviously, 40 minutes of football on one court, 0-0, 40 minutes on the other, and then two combined. So we have had, if my calculations are correct, 120 minutes of football, 0-0. I gave you credit, Ryan. I gave you credit. I've credited you, but I had to get that stat in. Obviously, Ryan, an excellent stats man. But yeah, Sevenoaks will be looking to end the streak, I'm sure, here as they go forward. It's Kyle Alexander. They did make a change at the break. Miles Miller came off for Greg Baxter, who I think was having a couple of chair issues in the first half. He went off very early and then was, I saw, doing some sort of agility type things in his chair on the sideline, but it should be fine now, and he's playing on the wing. Still talking about a sensational goal he scored yesterday against Teesside, so it's the best of his career. It certainly looked at one of the best goals I've ever seen. Yeah, ridiculous. I wonder how many times he's going to watch that back between now and the end of the season. Who knows? Hull unchanged from the end of the first half. As Sevenoaks have a corner kick. Sevenoaks will be happy with a draw on the other court as well if they can win this one. Obviously, that would put them above both Manchester United PFC and Nottinghamshire PFC. That would put them in 8th place, which is obviously a place higher than they started this game. And it's a place that you're safe in as well, 8th place, which is, you know, at the end of the day, the goal for what's been a difficult season for Sevenoaks so far. Here's Rothery to take this goal kick. Lambert, ooh, the pass was really, really good from Cole Simpson. Unlucky there, Lambert. Kyle Alexander, here's Greg Baxter down the line towards Harry Bestwick. Bestwick can't quite find the gap between the chairs. Alexander, Baxter. Didn't quite get the direction on that he wanted, Greg Baxter. Alexander has the ball wide. Now it's Mason. Alexander Baxter's just dropped back for a second to allow this attack to run its course. He'll now resume his position on the wing. Mason. Bestwick. Here's James Mason. Mason. Now to take this kick in. It's cleared away. Sevenoaks have plenty of bodies back to defend though. Hull not particularly intent right now on going forward. Baxter takes Brennan on the outside, does well. Now has options both central and wide. Ops back into the centre. Alexander strikes it. That was one of those moments where you just think Lambert could have been clattered there by Alexander. It will be a free kick to Sevenoaks though, out wide. This is another opportunity to use their set pieces, something that every team trains. Greg Baxter to take this kick and towards Alexander. Kyle Alexander scores and Sevenoaks lead. A well-worked set piece, as I said, one that was just a simple pass and finish. Hull couldn't do much about it. It's a terrible position to give away a free kick in, really. Sevenoaks 1, Hull 0. They break the streak of 0-0, which we felt was starting to feel would go on forever. Cole Simpson to kick Hull off. Brennan with one of the least subtle attempts to get over the halfway line before the ball's kicked I've ever seen. If Sevenoaks win this, as I said, and the game on the other court stays a 0-0 draw or a draw at all, then Sevenoaks will go into 8th spot, which is a spot above safety, which is a good place for them to be. Obviously picked up a win yesterday. They've been unlucky somewhat this season, Sevenoaks, in terms of they've been performing well. They just haven't been able to really score goals and convert performances into wins. Of course, there's been some terrible performances as well. I think they'll be the first to admit that, but I think their league standing, if they were to be relegated this season, it would be incredibly harsh on them. Cole Simpson. Baxter. Kick in for Sevenoaks. Here's Greg Baxter. Yellow card for Lambert for failing to get 5 away from the ball. I think that must be an accumulation across this game. I doubt Millie Beam would hand out a booking for that, for just that offence alone. They're going to attempt. Oh, no, they're not. Well, that is a goal for Sevenoaks, and I don't know whether that was what they were aiming for. It came off the back of Harry Bestwick's chair. It was a really nice finish, actually. Very, very deft into the bottom corner. It's a good goal for Sevenoaks. Another goal from a set piece, but yeah, that was really well worked. They looked like they were going to attempt the boom boom, which is one of the most difficult skills in the game, where one player smacks the ball off the chair of another who rifles it into the goal. They didn't. They baited it, and then, yeah, I mean, only Harry Bestwick will know, or maybe the Sevenoaks team will know if that's something they've worked on, but really only Harry will know whether that was meant to come off the back of his chair or not, but I very much enjoyed it. It's 2-0. And Hull now have a real mountain to climb, because Sevenoaks were only really looking vulnerable to Hull attacks when it was on the counter-attack, and of course in this game now Sevenoaks have no no onus on them to attack anymore. Of course, they'd like some more goals. You know, they've had a real problem with scoring goals this season. So if they could go out and put in a performance that gets them, 2, 3, 4 more goals, and they end with a high-scoring game, that would certainly be welcome for them. But Hull will continue to defend, and Brennan has a chance on the counter-attack here. Here's Brennan off. So a quick sub for Hull. Looking to freshen things up ahead of the last 9 minutes of this game, a game which they currently trail. Hodson's come on. Here's Greg Baxter. Cole Simpson. Cole Simpson taking his time. Well defended between Mason and Alexander. Lots of talking between the pair, which is good to see. You need to communicate as a defensive unit. I think we saw the best example I've seen in recent times of a well-oiled defensive unit in that last game between Villa Rockets and Aspire, where Amir Ali and Hamza Madir were like an impenetrable wall. James Mason. Going to be, yeah, that's a last warning for Lambert. He's had quite a few contact fouls in this game, and he's been just making that apparent to him. I think she actually reached for the card and then remembered, that he'd already been booked, and so allowed a little bit of leeway. But yeah, really, she's actually gone over and spoke to the whole coaches, because if there's another one, she will be left no choice but to send Lambert off. Here's Kyle Alexander. Bestwick. Baxter has a chance, it's blocked. Alexander now. Yeah, Lambert's been withdrawn. That's probably sensible from the whole coaches, just to get him out of that game, because yeah, sometimes you don't necessarily mean to do a contact foul and you do one on accident, and there is a good chance that if that was to happen to Lambert in this game, he would be sent off and Hull would be down to 3 players, and he would therefore also get a suspension for that red card. So it's wise coaching. A good refereeing from Millie Bean as well, just to communicate with the players. You know, if you're told it's your last warning and you do another foul, you can't have any complaints when you get shown a card. You know, you sometimes see when referees don't talk to the players and then give a yellow, and suddenly that causes a bit of controversy, but there has been none in this game. And there's 4 minutes 45 seconds left on the internal clock here. Greg Baxter to take this kick in. Alexander unlucky not to get that past the back post, and there's an opportunity maybe for Hull. James Mason just deals with it. Sevenoaks left themselves a bit open there, which is surprising considering the state of play. It's 2-0. They've got 3 points pretty much in the bag. They don't need to be overextending themselves and leaving themselves open like that. And now it's Kai Gill to take this corner for Hull. Gill whips it in towards Simpson. Simpson has his shot blocked by James Mason. James Mason now. It's in towards Simpson again. Greg Baxter. It's going to be a kick in for Hull, and a change for Sevenoaks' Harry Bestwick, who's had a productive afternoon's work. Goes off. Was unlucky not to have scored a really great goal in that first half. Was disallowed, but I'm sure he'll be happy with his performance level. And this one is an interesting effort from Cole Simpson. It didn't look on, but as that approached the goal, hearts were in mouths all of a sudden. Looked like it may sneak into that near corner. Mason now. Here's Baxter. Greg Baxter's been given a lot to do by his goalkeeper. Ball just trickles out of play. 2.5 minutes remaining here, and it is still 0-0 on the other court. They started a little bit later than us, so they have about 8 minutes left. But if it remains 0-0, well, this is a very good result for Sevenoaks. Hull still very much in high spirits on this sideline. Here's Kyle Alexander. Blocked by Gill. Into the final 2 minutes of play here. Alexander to take this kick in. Miller. Final touch was off Rothery. Miller. Sevenoaks just moving the ball, just trying to see out this game. Really, there are just 60 seconds left, so you will think the win has been wrapped up here. Just, it's a case now of let's not concede any goals, let's keep that clean sheet, and I'm sure if they were to be able to add a really late goal, that would just be the cherry on the cake. They've played well here, Sevenoaks. They've been good value for their win, definitely. Had that period at the start of the second half that was quite lucrative for them in terms of getting their 2 goals, and they've really just lived off of that and done well to keep it tight for the rest of the game. Alexander obviously was not a starting player, but since coming on he's been really impactful. He's played really well. Bestwick obviously played well. Greg Baxter involved in most of the goals, and now Mason just has that ball. Alexander. Corner kick for Sevenoaks. This will be the last action of the game. Adam McAvoy on the sideline, just talking about, you know, plans for the next game with his assistant. Ever animated, the pair. They're always talking to each other, as Millie Bean quite literally has the whistle in her mouth ready to go to end this game, as it's played to Miller. Miller across, goes out for a kick into Hull. We're over the 40-minute mark. And there we go, that's full time. So Sevenoaks pick up a much needed win. They now move into 8th position as it stands. 4 minutes left in the other game to decide whether that's where they will remain. 2-0 the final score. Brilliant performance from Sevenoaks in that second half. Mature from them. They didn't allow themselves to become frustrated with chances that they weren't quite managing to convert. They were sensible, and then they used their set pieces, which is something that, you know, when you're at the bottom of the table, when you're struggling for goals, set pieces are always going to provide you with that opportunity, and they used them well. So 2 goals, 2 important goals. It will be a game that Hull will look back at and see lots of positives in, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And Sevenoaks 2, Hull and East Yorkshire PFC 0.